Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of Loud and Proud Mamas. I'm your host, Justine,
And I'm your host, Laura.
and we are so happy to be back after the holidays, aren't we, Laura?
We are a whole new year to start off our podcast. Hard to believe we've been podcasting in 2 different years already.
Something to be very proud of, indeed. Laura, oh my god, how were the holidays for you?
Oh boy, you know what? Actually, they were really nice. We had a great time. It was cozy. It was really nice. Nothing too crazy. Not a lot of family drama. A little bit of family drama, but not too much. Like it was very manageable. And this year was really fun. Our daughter being she just turned 19 months and so much more fun than when she was 6 months old and sick on Christmas. So it was like we got to relive the whole first Christmas experience again, and
Oh,
it was great.
what was her favorite part?
Oh, you know, I'm not sure. I wish I could just ask her, but if I think she really loves seeing her family, and seeing her uncles, her aunts, her cousins. Even we got together with some friends and seeing the other babies. She just seemed to have such a great time with it all. She's also been very doll crazy lately, and she did get a few new toys that she absolutely loves. Like we got her a little stroller for the doll, and that's like we have a kitchen island, and she just like runs around the island pushing the stroller for like a good 10-15 minutes at a time. And this little high chair for the doll
So
that she like
cute.
feeds it with. So she's been just living in heaven with these few new toys that she got. Yeah, I'm not sure what her favorite part was, but I think she had a good time overall.
Sounds like she had a great time.
Yeah. What about you? How did the holidays go?
It was good. I had 1,000 people
Oh
in
my
my
gosh.
house. I had my mother, my mother's partner, I had my sister's partner, and my mother in law, in addition to having my husband, my child, and my brother in law who lives in the basement.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like the most maximally full my house has ever
Wow.
been.
And they stayed for a few days, I'm guessing.
Yeah, more or less like from the 22nd to my son's birthday, which is the
Okay.
28th. So yeah, about like more or less a
Okay.
week
Wow.
or so. Yes, but it was his first birthday, so everyone
Of
wanted to be
course.
there
Of
for it.
course.
So it would have been a really nice holiday adventure, however, if we did not also spend our first holiday
Oh
absolutely sick.
no. I don't know what it is about first Christmases. I feel like a lot of people get hit real hard right around the holidays of their child's first Christmas or
So if I may, if I may
yes.
just get on my soapbox for a little bit, I know why we got sick. I know exactly what was patient zero for my
Oh.
household. So it was my brother in law's birthday on the 19th, and we had a family friend come over. And in Quebec, we do like the bisou bisou, like the kiss on both
The
cheeks,
kiss
right?
kiss.
This,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I see this family friend. I go over to do the bisou bisou, and he's like, "No, no, no, no. My kid's sick at home. I don't want you to get anything." So what I should have said in that moment was, why the fuck are you doing here then? What are you
Yeah.
doing here in my house if your kid is sick?
Please
Instead, what
leave.
I said was like, "Oh, that's okay. Come on, sit down. Let's get some pizza. Let's get some cake." So, my brother-in-law got sick, my husband got sick, I got sick, my son got sick, my 70-year-old father-in-law got
Oh
sick.
no.
Everyone got sick. And not like a normal level of sick, like, oh, we have some body aches and some sniffles, like the type of fever where you wake up and like your bed sheets are just soaked. You know,
Oh, that's terrible.
I had like coughing like the exorcist, like full body
Wow.
racked coughing. Anyways, my brother-in-law and I seem to have gotten the worst of it. We went to the ER together over the weekend, but we got some medication. I'm on some inhalers, so Listeners, if my voice still kind of sounds fucked up and if you hear me coughing, I do apologize. I'm still a little bit sick, but I'm on the mend.
Well, I'm glad you're starting to feel better, but that sounds really rough. Besides that, how did your son find his first Christmas and his first birthday?
It was really sweet. It was really sweet. My mom gifted him a kitchen set,
Oh,
like a little pretend kitchen, and he's just been opening the little microwave compartment, putting things in, closing it, and then opening it again, taking things out, putting things in. So
so cute.
that's been really fun. Yeah. So that's been really great. He seemed to have a good first birthday too, even though he was pretty sick.
So, did you end up giving him a mango for Christmas?
So for his Christmas, he got a kiwi, and then for his birthday, he got a mango. And
Okay,
he was pretty
very nice.
excited about that.
Has he not tried those before?
The mango, he has tried kiwis. It was his first time.
Okay. And what do you
He
think of it?
was he was excited. Yeah.
Okay.
He's we don't do like we're kind of more of an apple, oranges, bananas
Mm-hmm.
kind of family. We don't have I don't know how exotic kiwis are, but we don't have them in the house very often. So
Okay.
this was a special occasion.
Nice. And what about cake?
Yes.
How was the first birthday cake?
It was good. My husband made it. He made like it was kind of like a banana bread kind of texture.
Okay, nice.
Um, more of a dense cake, but we took your tip and we made whipped cream frosting, and he went crazy.
Aw,
It was just yum 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 yum. So we
so
have a bunch
cute.
of pictures and videos of fistfuls of cake being put into his mouth.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So that was really cute. We really enjoyed that.
Nice.
So now that we've debriefed about our holidays and about our sickness, I was wondering if you wanted to talk more about our fertility journey and our conception journey here on the podcast, Laura.
Yeah, sure. Sounds good.
So we've talked about choosing a donor and we've talked about the whole procedure, the insemination and everything. Let's talk about what comes next, which means the pregnancy test. You want to talk about how you found out you were pregnant the first time?
Sure. So I have to say, the 2 week wait was brutal for me. I tend to be a little bit of an anxious person at times, depending on what the situation is, and I definitely can get in my thoughts a lot. There's a little bit of health anxiety thrown in there too, and so I think because I had no idea what to expect, I just and the anticipation of it all. They say to wait the 14 days before you test, and by I think 8 days after the insemination, I was like, I have to test, and that's all I could think about. That's all I wanted to do. I was also having some odd symptoms, so in hindsight now, I wonder if there might have been more going on than just a simple pregnancy, because I did do a medicated cycle, and a risk of doing a medicated cycle is that your ovaries can they they can produce too much and they can swell a lot from the medication. And that, I think I've mentioned it before, it's called OHSS, ovarian hyper stimulation syndrome. So it can be very mild, which is just pain and discomfort, or it can be severe, which could be like the severe version could be life threatening because your ovaries can burst and leak. I'm sorry if that is graphic, but all to say, when you do get pregnant, the HCG can make, if you're having a reaction to the stimulation medication, HCG can make it a lot worse. So I was feeling like an insane amount of pressure in like my pelvic region, to the point where it felt like bricks were like squishing me, and I didn't know, like, my wife was like, maybe that's just implantation, and we didn't know what to expect. I did see my doctor, and she wasn't too concerned, but having talked to my fertility doctor later, because I saw my GP, it maybe could have been a mild version of this. But anywho, because of this, I was like, there was the anxiety of, am I pregnant or not? But then there was also my fear of, are my ovaries gonna burst? And so, anyhow, I was just a mess for 2 weeks. And my wife really didn't want me to test early because since I did a medicated cycle, I took an injection for when I was going to ovulate. And this injection has HCG in it. So if you test too early, so this is called the trigger shot. If you test too early, you'll get a positive pregnancy test because of the trigger shot. So she didn't want me to test early, but I did not make it 14 days. I think I made it 11. So I was almost there. But on day 11, I was like, I went out, I'm like, I have to test. So I went and I got at this point, I was also nauseous. So I was like, I just need to know if this is in my head or not. And sure enough, I tested and there it was. It wasn't too dark, but it was a double line. It was a
Hey.
but we didn't celebrate yet because we didn't know if this could potentially be the trigger shot.
Right, right.
So the next morning we did again and we saw the line progression and we continued doing it until the 14 days of when you were supposed to take the test, and then we called the clinic because the line did get significantly darker. At that point, we called the clinic and went to get our blood test and confirmed that we were good to go. And
Congrats.
what about for you? What was that experience like for you?
So we did the insemination, and I think I did wait the full 14 days to test. This was back when I was working the morning shift. So my shift started at like 7:30. Luckily, I work remote, so it's not too much of a commute, just
Nice.
to my office downstairs. But my husband really wanted to know like as soon as possible. So he was like, "It doesn't matter that you wake up at 6:30. Like just like as soon as you do it, test and then wake me up for the result, regardless if it's yes or no. I want to know. Like today's the big day. I'm really looking forward to it."
Aw.
And like I completely don't think I had zero symptoms. And so I had made my peace with that, and I was like, IUIs, like, they take multiple times sometimes. That's totally fine. That's totally normal. This time it didn't work, but that's okay. We'll try again.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my mindset going in. So I pee in the cup, I dip the stick, and immediately, bam, pregnant.
Wow.
Like, like you, you ever have COVID so bad that you
Yep.
do the test and you don't even have to wait the 2 minutes? The test is like,
Yep.
yeah, bitch, you got COVID. That's how pregnant I was. Like, it was immediate. It was like, no, it's definitely pregnant.
Wow. And you
So
had no symptoms.
I had zero symptoms, and
Wow.
I was just sitting on the toilet, and I decided to wait the full like 2 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever it was. And I was just like thinking, like, man, my life is gonna change now. And then I go to my husband who's asleep, and I'm like trying to think about what to say. So finally, I just kind of poke him awake, and I say, "Are you ready to be a dad?" And like he's like completely asleep. He's waking up. He's looking at me, and you can slowly see the gears of what I said starting to work. And he's like, "What?"
Oh,
And then yeah, we celebrated together. We took a look at the test, and yeah, that was our son.
so exciting. So was he
Yeah.
surprised as well, or did he think that?
No, he was extremely smug. He believed from the beginning that it would be one shot done.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, he had full confidence the whole time.
Damn. Yeah. Because it's like I looked up the statistics, and it's really just like a 15% chance. So that's
Yeah,
pretty amazing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he was pretty smug. So he was pretty happy about that.
Oh,
So
nice.
that was how we found out we were pregnant, and it's a nice little moment in our lives. Early morning.
Yeah. So you were fine with the 2 week waiting? Like you had no stress or anticipation during that time?
I no, I had anticipation. Um,
But you're a rule
I
follower. I am not.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess like it would have been fine if I tested early. It's just I would have gotten a negative result because I didn't do a trigger shot. So, there was no risk of a false positive for me.
Mm, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I just didn't do it.
Oh, good for you. But
That was our pregnancy journey. Stay tuned for next episode where we talk about what the actual pregnancy was like and all our fun pregnancy stories, culminating in the final event, I guess, of the conception journey, which is the birth.
yes.
So stay tuned, listeners, for future episodes of that. But now I want to talk about something that's a little bit more fun, which is date night.
Oh,
Date night. What do you and your wife like to do for date night? Just a casual date night, formal date night. What's date night like for you and your wife?
so for us, we haven't done too many big formal date nights, especially not since we had our daughter. And a part of that for us right now in this season of our life, we haven't really wanted necessarily like a night off without her. Like we've gone to restaurants for a date with her, and
Yeah,
we have really enjoyed that, and we still appreciate the quality time together even with her there. The most date night type things that we've done is after we put her to bed, sometimes we'll do like a board game together or an activity. One day we each bought each other Lego sets, like surprise Lego sets. And then we poured some wine and made a chocolate fondue, and then put music on and had our fondue and our wine and made our Lego sets together. And that was a great
that's so
date. Like we
fun.
had a great time.
Yeah,
It was fun. It was cute. And so we like that kind of stuff. Not official dates either, but sometimes like if a new good documentary is down, or is out, we'll get together and just watch that together with our snacks, and that feels like the fun
nice.
quality time for us. Because normally once we put our daughter to bed, we each kind of like go off and do our own thing. My wife likes to go play her video games, and I like to watch my cheesy shows or do my crafts or read my book. And so we have a little bit of that alone time, but then, once or twice a week we'll want to do something together when she goes to bed. So that fills our cup for the date night. But if you have any
What?
ideas of fun date nights outside of the house, I'd be interested to hear them.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I was going to say that we're very similar. Like we're a big board game couple as well. And so
Nice.
I was going to see what board games you have and see if we have any similarities between each other.
Oh, yeah. So, what kind do you guys like to play?
So our main one that we can't get enough of is Carcassonne. This was one that I
Oh,
brought into our relationship. So it's kind of like a resource management kind of world building game. You have a stack of tiles.
is it like Catan?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, Catan is very built on like trading. This one is more built. So
Okay,
you every turn you flip a tile, and you place the tile, and the tile will either help you build a city or it'll help you build a road or something like that.
okay,
And it's very fun. Every game is different because there's endless different combinations, and it's quick. It's like a 20-30 minute game.
nice.
So we usually play a 2 player, but it can go up to 6 players, so it's a great party game as well. And yeah, that's our main
Cool.
one. And then another one that we really like is Patchwork. This is specifically just a 2 player
Oh,
game, but you're given a 10 by 10 grid, and it's kind of like Tetris, but you're taking turns. You're given Each turn, you get to select an interesting shape and you put it on your grid, and you're trying to fill your grid as full as possible without empty spaces. Um, yeah, no, so
Hmm.
that's one that we really like. We do pandemic when we can focus. That's
Okay.
that requires a lot of communication and like strategy. So it's a little bit more of like a focusing
Okay.
game. But yeah, those are our big ones. How about you? What do you and your wife play?
Nice. We're definitely like those sound really fun, but we're a lot more of like the shorter, fast paced games. So we'll do like a Monopoly
Nice.
Deal as a card game. We'll play, there's this game. We like checkers, chess, and
Nice.
Othello. There were, those two-player games. There's a few other little card games that we like Dutch Blitz, Phase 10. Yeah, we're into those like quick speed kind of strategy card game type things. Um, there's another game called Labyrinth
Okay.
that we like that is basically you have a like a board which has some tiles that are stuck on them and then some that move, and you basically have one extra tile that you kind of like push through where you want to go, and then it
Oh,
moves the whole
cool.
board. And then you have to find, like, you have cards that you have to go and get that image that's on the board, but then the board keeps moving. So each turn you have to like strategize to get your next one, and then it's the person who gets rid of all their cards
Nice.
first that wins. So that one is like a fun, easy two-player one. We like ones where the instructions aren't too
Yeah.
complicated and we can sit and talk and like play without being
Yeah.
fully
Yeah.
immersed.
Are you a good chess player?
No, I'm not. I'm much better at checkers and Othello, but I do like trying to play chess, but I'm not great with the strategy yet. Do you like to play it?
I'm great at I'm good at trash talking
Ah,
during
okay.
chess. Me and my dad, we play a lot of chess
Nice.
together, and a dynamic that me and my dad have is just constant trash talking over the chessboard.
That's fun. So you'll just defeat your opponent emotionally.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, but we should play some games sometime. We should have a double date.
Yeah, that'd be fun. We could definitely do a
Yes.
board game night. Yeah, that would be great. Sorry, slightly off topic, but just a fun kind of win that I want to mention. So for New Year's this year, we went to friend's house, and we didn't have, so this is the first time that like we were going to have our daughter out late. We're pretty flexible with bedtime, like 7 or 8, like between 7 and 9, depending if we're out or whatnot. She adjusts fairly well. But we were hoping to stay out till midnight because it was New Year's. And we went to a friend's house. They also had a young child, and then another couple came as well, and they also had a young child. So we were the three families. And for the first time, we were able to put our daughter to bed in just a random bed in someone else's house. And she went to sleep. So each of us did that with our kids. We each put our girls in a room, and then we went down and we played board games, and it was amazing. It was so fun to just be
That's
able
so
to
fun.
like do that and know that the kids are sleeping upstairs, and we were, we had a drink, we had dessert, we were playing. It was really fun. We were so immersed in our board games that we missed the midnight. So we were putting it on the TV, we were ready to do the countdown, and then I guess someone sat on the remote or something and it paused, and then next thing you know, we looked down and someone was like, "It's 12!" And so we proceeded to rewind the ball drop and then just did the countdown again.
There you go. There you go.
But all to say, this means that we can now, like, potentially put our daughter to sleep at someone else's house and then transfer her when we need to leave. And so it makes it fun to be able to
Yeah.
go out and spend some time with friends, which we hadn't really. We had people
Well,
over to our house, but never really went out with her for a later night. So it's fun.
I will take this as an invitation
Okay.
to invite you over.
Yes, that sounds great.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a spare bed for your daughter. No
Perfect.
problem.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
I'll whip your ass at chess.
Okay, well, I mean, you probably will.
The trash talking starts now.
Oh boy. You're just gonna I'm gonna start crying before the game even starts. Rocking in a corner. Chess with
Like, yeah,
Justine.
you're gonna move your bishop over there.
Yeah.
You think your
Okay.
castle's going over there? I don't think so, Laura.
Oh, don't know if I'm ready for that.
So that's
No.
like a casual, like we're big board gamers. Another
Yes.
date night that we do is knitting with a podcast. So I got
Cute.
my husband both into knitting and podcasting. My husband
Nice.
has a very interesting quirk about him that he can watch something that I'm doing that he does not know how to do, and just by watching, he can pick it up completely. So
That's so impressive.
yeah, so he's learned to operate a sewing machine like this. He's learned to make a bunch of my dishes in the kitchen like this. He's learned how to knit like this. Like, I don't even know that I'm being watched. He's just watching me, and then one day he's like, look, I know how to knit now.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's very impressive.
That's impressive. I wish I had that skill.
It's pretty cool. But yeah, so he's big into knitting. And so because I'm the big podcaster in the relationship, I'll listen to a bunch of podcasts over the week, and then I'll pick like one or two that he would really like.
Okay.
And so we'll spend like, an hour or so knitting and listening to something. And he's big into the science podcast. He likes Science Versus a lot. Every now and then Planet Money has something that he finds interesting. There's some podcasts of mine he cannot stand. I won't name them
No.
because I don't want to
Okay.
turn anybody off, but there are some political podcasts that he's like, never play this again.
All right.
But yeah, so we have little date nights like that.
So do you have, like, in your head a set amount of dates that you try to do, or do you kind of just play it by ear and feel like, oh, it feels like a good night for a date night?
Yeah, I would say like minimum once a week, like we do try to reconnect together because we don't really spend too much time during the day together. We both have jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're with my son, like he's still like very high energy
Mm-hmm.
in terms, so we're really focused on him. So when he's asleep, we do try to spend time together, like
Nice.
on purpose, like deliberately, purposefully. That's what I'm working for.
Yes.
um yeah, I don't know if we necessarily count, but definitely minimum once a week we try to do something on purpose together.
Nice.
We're big on the documentaries
Okay.
as well, just like you. So if you have any documentary recommendations, let me know.
Will do. Yeah. We tend to listen to a lot of, like, murder documentaries and podcasts. Which
So that would
why do people like this? I don't know, but we do. So
well, you know what? You tell me. You're the one who likes it. I don't like it.
Oh,
I am
no.
so scared of true crime.
Really?
Yeah, I could not listen to true crime. I would go to bed crying every night.
Oh, I did not expect that. I was sure that you would be interested in that. I don't know why.
No, I know because I love podcasts so much.
Yeah.
But no, I listen to a lot of like news, and I listen to a lot of CBC stuff.
The news
I
is
listen to a
just
lot of
as
comedy
scary
stuff.
as true crime. It's just as scary.
You know, I understand. Yeah, no, like you would, for as bit popular as true crime is with podcasters, I've never listened to a single true crime.
Oh, wow.
Unless it's like part of like a wider like CBC or BBC like investigation, like a bigger one, but I've never listened to like an actual true crime.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, you were
You
saying.
learn something new.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say yeah, my husband loves true crime. So
Oh,
you can recommend stuff, and then I'll pass it on to him, and then
perfect.
I'm sure he'll say thank you.
All right. My wife does too, so that'll be something that they can talk about in the future as well.
Yes. Yes, we need to organize a play date with our
Yes.
partners.
Yes. And our kids.
Yes. We can organize it all at the same time. And then you and I can talk without a microphone.
My wife is really into the bread making these days, so I want her to connect with you because I
Mm.
know you're into the baking as well.
Yeah. Is she making like things like in a bread maker, or is she making things like purely
She's
by
done
hand?
both. We did get a bread maker. They
Nice.
they didn't turn out fantastic. She made a really good one today without a bread maker. She just did a loaf bread and then like some buns, and they were like soft and fluffy, and they were by far her best so far. But she's been in a little hyperfixation on it and really enjoying learning about it. So
Does she know about bread dad?
I don't think so.
So that's where I get all my bread machine recipes from.
Oh,
Is this website called Bread Dad? Fantastic website. Completely not affiliated with it. Like I'm not sponsored or anything, but like a spectacular website. It's called Bread Dad, and it's got like every possible bread machine recipe in there.
awesome.
Just like from yeasted stuff to quick breads to making doughs.
Wow.
I'll send it to you, and she can take a look at that and see if they're really reliable
Great.
recipes.
Thank you. That'd be awesome.
So we've covered doing date nights,
Yes.
and we're talking about bread making and stuff like that. And so I kind of want to talk about like domestic life, more or less, the
Yes.
day to day, the very boring. Who does dinner? Who does the cleaning? Who does the shoveling? Who does the mowing? how do I'm going to tell you why I'm interested in this. And that is because I think it's very interesting how queer relationships divide up domesticity,
Hmm.
because I think there's a little bit of an assumption sometimes within
Yes.
straight couples about how domestic chores get split up. And I'm always very interested to see how queers kind of navigate this, because it doesn't always fall along the lines of who you think is going to do what. You know what I mean?
Yes. Well, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but in our home, there's a little bit of the bias that falls in. So you know, I wouldn't say that one of us is more feminine than the other, or if you want to say that, but like in terms of I was the birth giver, and my wife likes to call herself dad sometimes. So if we're going to divide it in those terms, then the stereotypical tasks, they do kind of fall within those titles for us. Not
Interesting.
necessarily intentionally, but I think like a big part of it too was like throughout my entire pregnancy, I was pretty useless. I'm just gonna say I really was. I couldn't do too much. So my wife did all the shoveling, the heavy lifting, the harder domestic tasks, or like if there's something that needs to be fixed, it'll be her. If there's something heavy that needs to be carried, she'll do it. In large part because I wasn't able to do it for a good chunk of time, and then once the baby came, I had a baby attached to me like 24/7 because of nursing. So, even that winter she was doing all the shoveling, she does the lawn mowing, but not because I can't. I have a bit of a fear of a lawnmower.
It's got sharp blades.
Well, my when I was a kid, my stepdad got his foot cut stuck in one.
Oh my god.
So I don't want to go anywhere near one. So she does that. Um but you know what? Like though she does like a lot of the fixer up things around the house, like I do also like to do a few of those kind of DIY projects, but it has to be a current hyperfixation and not like an all the time thing. Oh, another thing, when I was pregnant, I couldn't go anywhere near the garbage because it would make me throw up. So, again, my wife just got in the habit of taking out the garbage and doing those kind of tasks. Um, and I have always been the cooker in the family. So, I will cook the
Yeah.
meals. Um, I will do a good amount of the cleaning. I definitely do all the laundry. I am a little more chaotic than she is, so she's better at organizing than I am. But I do try to do my share of the other tasks, and then some of the more like child rearing things are definitely me. Like I'll prepare all my daughter's cloth diapers. I'll do, the wash cycle for all of that. I'll be the one to sort out her clothes and put them away and bring the next size in. Those type of things. I definitely
Yeah.
do more of the dirty diapers than her. What about you guys? How's the split?
So it's interesting. So the listeners can't see what I look like, but I'm more on the masculine side. I don't know if would you agree that I'm a little bit out of the two of us.
Wait, like out of you and me or out of you and your husband?
Out of me, out of you and me, who would be the
Yes.
more
Yes.
masculine one?
I would say so. Um
Yeah. And my husband is masculine
yes.
as well. So, you know, I guess like I would technically be a little bit more feminine than him, but you're looking at two masculine queers who are in a loving marriage together. But I'm still a woman and he is still a man, and I read as a woman to society. And so sometimes what people see is me as a woman doing a lot of the cooking. They see me doing a lot of like the cleaning, the meal prep. They see me doing a lot of the social organizing of like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, when are we going to see friends? When are we going to see family? Stuff
Oh
like
yeah.
that. And I've gotten jokes. I think that I fall a little bit into the trad wife kind of aesthetic. And that's always kind of tickled me a little bit because what the work that I do around the house, I don't see it as a sort of expression of subservient gender roles. I cook because I like to eat. I like to eat a lot of food and I like to eat good food. And I clean because I like to have a clean house. And organize a social life because I like to socialize.
Yes.
Um, and then beyond that, I would not even say that we even follow that kind of trad life aesthetic. My husband just this weekend did 4 loads of laundry back to back to back, folding, putting everything
Nice.
away, everything. Um, my husband does cook. He doesn't enjoy it as much as I do, but when I'm like, I need a break, can you make something? It's
Mm-hmm.
macaroni chinois night, which is
Nice.
very tasty. Um, and yeah, my husband, ever since my son was born, he started to become very critical of how fathers are portrayed in
Mm.
media. And he's constantly comparing himself to
Mm.
fathers in media. And I remember there was this one really funny moment where we were watching um, Severance on Apple TV. And there's this one scene where this dad has a 6-week-old baby, and the dad is asking for help out of his friends, being like, "Oh, can anyone help me with this diaper?" And Kevin was so offended at that scene. He was like, 6 weeks old, and you need help doing a diaper. By the time my son was 6 weeks old, I had done 100 diapers. So
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah, Kevin is my husband is very hands on around the house, and
Oh, that's great.
it's nice. Yeah, it's nice. I guess what I'm trying to say is it's nice not having gender roles too strictly enforced
Yes.
in the
Yeah.
house.
No, I agree. And though I said we do, fall in them a bit, I think it's more based on like personality and ease of tasks or interests versus that you know, we're doing it because we fit in certain roles. Um, but you know, because there's other things too that don't fit the roles. Like, um, though looking at it, people might say I am my wife and I the more feminine one. Like, it's my wife who likes makeup, not me. I'm not into fashion. She is. She's into designing and stuff like that. I'm not. I have no interest in, you know, getting my hair done or styled in a certain way, and she is. So
You're just shorter, that's all.
I'm just shorter. I am shorter, so I kind of just fall in the role because of my height.
There you go. That's completely
Yeah.
what's clocking you as the more feminine one.
Yes. And I will wear dresses where she does not really wear dresses. So I mean, if you're
Well,
gonna
okay.
put that in there, so we'll go with that. But no, I think that what's nice about a queer relationship is there is that flexibility to kind of pick and choose what role you want to put yourself in.
It is, yeah. You know, it's. I think there's a lot of room for negotiation in queer
Yeah.
relationships, and that's something that I've always been grateful for. I've never been in a straight relationship. I came out when I was 14. So
Okay.
I've never dated a man who is not trans. Um, so it's always been a really nice part of my dating life that
Mm-hmm.
there's never been expectations based on my gender as to who does what at what time. So that's always been really
Interesting.
nice. That brings us to our last segment, which is the topic of winter.
So yeah, winter. What are your thoughts?
I am a huge winter person. I love going for winter walks. I love winter sports. I love winter holidays. Um, I Yeah, no, I'm a really big winter person, which is very funny
Uh,
because my husband is very much like an indoor cat, you know. He's a hibernating bear for most of winter. Today he managed to leave the house, which is a very big achievement, but mostly he's just doing his best to survive. And I'm like, let's go for a walk, let's go sledding, let's go cross country skiing. He's like, absolutely not. I'm sitting in the couch with my sweater on.
So I have to say, I connect with him on that on a very deep level. I am also an indoor cat. I want to like winter because I love being outside.
Yeah.
I do. I'm just not very good with the cold. I don't know if I have poor circulation or what, but like I can't. And when I get cold, I can't warm up. It just goes like into
Yeah,
my
my husband is
bones,
the same
and
way.
I'm just miserable.
Yeah.
And like this might be TMI for a podcast, but I also always have to pee. And then like when you're cold and you're outside and then you have to pee and then you have to like fight, like it's a lot of steps. It's a lot. You know? And then there's all the winter gear and the wet and you know, the getting like the sensory things like when I step in a wet cold puddle and my socks get wet, like my mood just gets ruined.
Oh
So,
no.
but I had to say, I'm really trying to like winter more because, you know, I recently, in the fall, I was working at this like forest school program where it was outside all day with the kids, and it went right up until um, December. And so we were outside with the kids, and I got good gear. And when I was out there with the kids, I did enjoy it. I, you know, it wasn't too long. It was just a few hours at a time, but I did have a good time. But then now the thought of going back and doing that, I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. I'm not sure if I'm ready for the cold and the wet. And like, there's this quote I heard once: I live in a place where the air hurts my face. Why do I live in a place where the air hurts my face? Why do I? I don't know.
It winter is the only time of year you get to feel cold. You know what I mean? Like in the summertime,
I don't know. I'm cold in the spring. I'm cold in the fall. I'm cold in the summer when there's air conditioning on too high.
Like it's just like it's a beautiful, magical time of the year. The snow is so beautiful, the ice is so beautiful. Walking out and just being blasted in the face with
Oh,
-30 air, just feeling that cold air in your lungs. It's so good, it's so
wow.
purifying. There's no bugs. There's no bugs. Zero bugs in the winter.
I don't know. I think the reason I've gotten through the last few winters is because I've booked a trip down south somewhere. Like it like resets me and then I'm okay, which I don't think is going to happen this year. But no, I struggle. I struggle with the cold in the winter. So I'm happy to see that there are some people out there who enjoy it.
I'm gonna get you into cross country skiing.
You know
We're
what?
gonna go cross country skiing
I
together.
don't hate skating.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we could skate.
I haven't done it in a few years, but I did used to really like skating.
Your town has that really cool rink. The
Yes.
one in the park, the really big one. I've been meaning to use it.
Yes, with the lights in the circle. Yeah. Okay.
Can I bring a stroller on that?
I think so, especially because it's an outdoor one. I know you're allowed in some indoor rinks. We just found actually these little clip-on skates for my daughter that clip onto the boots.
Ah,
So we've been wanting to test it out. So that'd be fun.
let's go skating. Let's go skating. I'll
Okay.
bring some hot tea or some hot chocolate in the thermos,
Okay.
unless that's gonna make you pee.
No, I mean it might, but that's fine. It'll warm me up.
At some point, I will turn you into a winter person, and you'll be a changed woman.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I definitely could do with enjoying winter a little more than I do.
There you go. All right, listeners, let us know if you are a winter head or if you're an indoor cat. And thank you so much for listening to another episode of Loud and Proud Mamas. We are so glad to be back in your ears, listeners. Let us know if you have missed us as well. Laura, you want to take us out for the night?
All right. Thanks so much for listening, everyone. Tune in next time. Bye.